my name is Mrs. Hill, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we as teachers at King's Academy East Hempstead Park create a sense of belonging for all of those students and children that you send to our school. So I'm going to be letting you in on the secret, which I absolutely don't mind, about what we do as teachers to make sure they feel like they belong and that they're included in what we're delivering. So let's have a look at what our teachers have been having a look at in depth over this academic year so far. And that's something called adaptive teaching. On the screen is a summary of what that means, but I'm just going to talk it through in a bit more detail for you. So you have to imagine that in every lesson in front of that teacher, we have a wide variety of students, a wide variety of different students. We have some that are doing well, and we have some that are not doing so well in specific subjects. But every lesson, that student has the same amount of information and resources and content delivered to them, because we know that at the end of the day, their GCSE papers are all the same. They don't get given different GCSE papers, they're all sitting the same paper. So we know that not all students respond well to lessons, and that some students can sit there and solve and feel uncomfortable in tackling problems or questions on their own, but some also need more guidance from us. We know that learning is affected by a range of factors, and this could be prior knowledge, ability, an SEN need, and of course motivation from that student. So teachers have to work so hard to monitor the learning at micro steps, and we call that checking for understanding. And once we've checked for their understanding, we then have to adjust our teaching to suit the need of the students in front of us in order for them to be able to complete the work to the best of their ability. So there is a specific way that we do that at King's Academy East Hempstead Park, and I'm going to show you this, which is our key King's Academy East Hempstead Park core 12 pedagogies. These are pedagogies, or strategies I should say, that we have chosen as a whole school that we feel allows all students to access our lessons and therefore feel included and like they belong in that lesson. So you will know, because your students will tell you, your children will tell you, that we have our 3 core behaviour strategies of meet and greet. We always meet them at the door of our classroom. We use one voice when we want their attention. And we also have track the speaker. And that might be tracking us, the speaker, the teacher, or tracking a student who may be delivering something in the lesson. We also do something called live modelling. And all teachers have a visualiser. And what we do to make sure that everyone is on board, everyone belongs, everyone's included, is we use that visualiser to model work that we would like the students to undertake. So we model tasks, we use student work and put it under our visualiser, and it allows us to give really clear instructions or feedback to the whole class about what we want them to achieve in the tasks that we're setting. We also do something called cold calling. So we are a no hands up school, because we don't want teachers asking the same old students the questions all the time. We want everyone to feel involved. We want everyone to feel like they have that sense of belonging. So cold calling is, in essence, is the student picking who's answering the questions, allowing them to have some thinking time, and then asking a student specifically what their answer would be to that question or that opinion on that question. All lessons also have this knowledge recall, making sure that the whole class, that class of included students, are undertaking a task at the start of the lesson that is bringing back old information to the front of their foreminds. So it could be something that they've studied last lesson, last term, last year, but it allows us to get the students settled, and it allows the students to understand, what am I going to be doing this lesson, giving them that feeling of being comfortable. We also have something called turn and talk. So turn and talk is where the students are allowed to talk in pairs about a question that may have been posed by the teacher. So the question is posed, the children have that thinking time, that self-reflection time to think about what their opinion is, and then they can turn to their friends or their partners and they can have that conversation, making them feel more confident in the answer that they're going to give. It's a really lovely strategy, turn and talk, and we're feeling like we're getting much better, more detailed answers and much securer and confident students in front of us because of that strategy. We also have show me boards, a personal favourite. Show me boards is where we're using mini whiteboards, and you would have seen that they're a tool for learning you can get from the school. And that is where we allow students to write down their answers so that the teachers can gauge who's got it, who has not. Can I move on in my lesson? Do I have to reteach something? Has it been understood? Are my class on board? Do they feel like they've been included in the lesson? Do they feel like I know where they are? Are they secure with me right now? And that's a really lovely, quick checking for understanding tool teachers can use within their lessons. We've got something called hunting, not fishing as well, where teachers will walk around the room and be looking for specific things, making sure they're visiting every single student. Again, so that teacher knows where that student is and what they need from that teacher, making sure they feel, again, included and like they belong. We've got silent solos. Silent solos is where the students settle to work independently in silence on a task that they've been fully prepared to complete. And in our schools, silence does mean silence. And then we've got this one. We always want our staff to reward your students with what they've done well in the lesson so that they can feel like they want to come back the next lesson and feel that pride in themselves, as everyone should. Now, this one here, this core response, is a brand new one to 2025. So this brand new one is to help us with vocabulary. So helping us with key vocabulary that we may be teaching that might be quite tricky. So one that I've used in music is the word dynamics and timbre. And when I introduce this key vocabulary, I want the students to make sure that they feel very confident in using it and saying it. So for example, I would say, I say timbre, and then I say you say, and the class would chorally repeat timbre. And it's just making sure, again, that they feel confident in their learning and confident to be in that lessons. There will be other videos coming out to you soon to introduce you to our reading at the KAEP way, to give you more information on what we're doing about literacy within our school. If you have any questions, please email me. My name is Mrs. Hill, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.